Switzerland should not be this rich. It is small. It is mountainous. It has limited space. And compared to the great powers around it, it does not look like a country built to dominate the world. But somehow, Switzerland became one of the richest, safest, and most admired countries on earth. Its banks became legendary. Its watches became symbols of precision. Its cities became examples of order. And its mountains became a dream sold to the entire world. So the question is simple. How did a small country with so little space become a global symbol of wealth? The answer is not just money. It is trust. And once a country learns how to sell trust, the whole world is willing to pay for it. From the outside, Switzerland looks almost unreal. Snow-covered mountains rise behind clean cities. Trains arrive on time. Streets look calm. Lakes reflect old buildings and modern towers. Small villages seem untouched by chaos. For many people, Switzerland is not just a place. It is an idea. The idea of a country where everything works. A place where salaries are high, banks are powerful, clocks are precise, chocolate is famous, and nature looks like a postcard. But this image hides a deeper story. Switzerland did not become rich by accident. It did not build its power by conquering large territories. It did not become famous for having the biggest population, the largest army, or the loudest political voice. Its path was different. Switzerland became powerful quietly. It became rich by building something the world values deeply, especially in uncertain times: reliability, stability, and trust. Before this documentary continues, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell in the comments where you are watching from. This helps the channel bring more stories about the hidden wealth of the world's most successful countries. Because Switzerland may look perfect from the outside, but behind the beauty there is a system, and behind that system there is a price. To understand Switzerland, the viewer must first look beyond the postcard. The country is not large. Its landscape is beautiful, but also difficult. Much of its territory is shaped by mountains, valleys, lakes, and narrow spaces where building and expanding are not simple. In many countries, geography becomes a limitation. But in Switzerland, geography became part of the identity. The mountains helped shape a culture of discipline, adaptation, and independence. Communities had to organize carefully. People had to cooperate. Space had to be used intelligently. And over time, the country developed a habit that would later become one of its greatest economic strengths: precision. Nothing could be wasted. Routes had to be planned. Villages had to be connected. Work had to be done well. This practical mentality slowly became part of the Swiss image. The world began to associate Switzerland with things that were not loud, but extremely valuable: reliability, quality, patience, and control. That is why Switzerland feels different from countries that try to impress through size. Switzerland impresses through consistency. Its cities are not the biggest in Europe. Its population is not the largest. Its territory is not the most powerful. But its reputation is enormous. Zurich became known as a financial center. Geneva became known for diplomacy and international organizations. Basel became important for pharmaceuticals. Swiss brands became symbols of quality. Swiss watches became symbols of precision. Swiss banks became symbols of safety and privacy. And little by little, the country turned a simple message into a national advantage. If it is Swiss, it can be trusted. But that reputation did not come from image alone. It came from an economic structure built very carefully. And that structure is where the real story begins. Switzerland did not become rich by selling the cheapest products in the world. It became rich by selling things people are willing to pay more for. This is one of the most important secrets of the Swiss economy. Many countries compete by producing large quantities at low prices. Switzerland took another path. It built an economy around high-value sectors: finance, insurance, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, medical technology, engineering, precision instruments, watches, luxury goods, tourism, and specialized services. These are not simple products. They require knowledge. They require skilled workers. They require reputation. They require trust. A Swiss watch is not only an object that tells time. It carries a story of craftsmanship, status, and precision. A Swiss pharmaceutical company is not only a company producing medicine, it represents research, science, and global credibility. A Swiss bank is not only a place where money is stored, it became, for decades, a symbol of security and discretion. This is how Switzerland created wealth without needing to dominate the world through size. It focused on quality. It focused on reliability. It focused on products and services where mistakes are expensive and trust matters. When someone buys something cheap, they may accept risk. But when someone moves wealth, buys medicine, invests in luxury, or depends on precision technology, they want certainty. Switzerland learned to sell certainty, and certainty is expensive. That is why the Swiss economy is so powerful. It is not based on one single source of income. It is a network of industries that all share the same message. This country delivers quality. But quality alone is not enough. For the world to believe in Swiss quality, Switzerland needed something even deeper. It needed stability. The Swiss economy does not always look dramatic from the outside. It is not built around one giant story, like oil in the desert or factories covering entire cities. Instead, it is built like a precise machine, where many parts work together. There are banks and insurance companies. There are pharmaceutical giants and research laboratories. There are companies that produce chemicals, machines, medical devices, watches, and precision instruments. There are hotels, mountain resorts, luxury tourism, universities, international organizations, and global companies. Together, these sectors create an economy that feels calm on the surface, but is extremely sophisticated underneath. This is the quiet power of Switzerland. The country does not need to shout. It does not need to look aggressive. It does not need to be the center of every global conflict. Its strength is being dependable. For companies, Switzerland offers a stable legal environment. For wealthy individuals, it offers security. For researchers, it offers institutions and investment. For tourists, it offers beauty and order. For international organizations, it offers neutrality and credibility. This combination is rare, and because it is rare, it becomes valuable. In many countries, political instability can scare away investment. Inflation can destroy savings. Corruption can weaken institutions. Violence can damage daily life. Sudden changes can make the future feel uncertain. Switzerland built its advantage by moving in the opposite direction. It became predictable. And in the global economy, predictability is not boring. Predictability is power. But this power did not come only from companies or money. It also came from one of the most famous words connected to Switzerland: neutrality. And that neutrality helped turn the country into something much bigger than its size. In Europe, many countries built their identity through conflict, expansion, and power struggles. Switzerland chose a different path. Its neutrality became one of the strongest parts of its image. Over time, the country became known as a place that avoided military alliances and tried to stay outside major conflicts. But Swiss neutrality was never just a quiet political detail. It became a strategic asset. In a continent shaped by wars, rivalries, empires, and shifting borders, Switzerland presented itself as stable ground. It became a place where money could feel safer, a place where diplomacy could happen, a place where international organizations could operate, a place where different sides could meet without feeling that the country itself was an enemy. This gave Switzerland a special role. It was not the biggest power in Europe, but it became one of the most trusted spaces in Europe. And that trust helped strengthen its economy. Geneva became globally important for diplomacy and humanitarian institutions. International organizations established themselves there. Conferences, negotiations, and global discussions found a home in Switzerland. The country's image became connected not only to banks and mountains, but also to dialogue, neutrality, and stability. This does not mean Switzerland's history is simple or perfect. No country has a perfect history. But in terms of global reputation, Switzerland managed to turn neutrality into an economic and diplomatic advantage. While other countries became powerful by choosing sides, Switzerland became valuable by becoming a place where many sides could still speak. That was a different kind of strength. Not loud, not dramatic, but extremely useful. And in the world of money, politics, and trust, usefulness can become wealth. Switzerland's neutrality helped create something even larger than a political identity. It created a feeling. For many people and institutions, Switzerland feels safe. This feeling is one of the country's most valuable invisible products. A company wants to know that laws will not suddenly change in a chaotic way. An investor wants to know that property will be protected. A researcher wants to work in a serious environment. An international organization wants a location that feels neutral. A wealthy family wants stability. A tourist wants safety and beauty. Switzerland offers all of this in one place. That is why its reputation is so powerful. It is not only about what the country produces. It is about how the country makes people feel safe, protected, respected, organized. This feeling attracts money, talent, companies, and institutions. And once they arrive, they reinforce the system. More companies increase the country's economic strength. More international organizations increase its global importance. More wealthy people increase demand for premium services. More tourists strengthen the luxury image. More skilled workers support advanced industries. The system feeds itself. Trust brings wealth. Wealth supports quality. Quality strengthens reputation. Reputation attracts more trust. This cycle is one of the reasons Switzerland became so rich. But every powerful system has consequences. And Switzerland's success created a country that is admired from the outside, but not always easy to live inside. Because when a place becomes known for safety, quality, and high income, prices rise, demand rises, competition rises, and the same country that looks like a dream to visitors can become a difficult reality for residents. This is where the postcard begins to crack. Not because Switzerland is fake, but because perfection has a cost. For tourists, Switzerland can feel like a perfect scene. A train moves through the mountains. A lake shines beside an old city. A cafe opens on a clean street. In the distance, the Alps look calm and eternal. Everything seems organized, safe, and beautiful. But for people who live there, beauty is only one part of the story. The other part is the bill. Switzerland is expensive. Housing can be difficult, especially in major cities and attractive regions. Food is costly. Services are costly. Health insurance is a major monthly expense. Everyday life often requires a level of income that would feel high in many other countries. This is the hidden tension of the Swiss model. The country offers a lot, but it also demands a lot. A high-quality system needs money to maintain itself. Clean infrastructure, safe streets, excellent transportation, strong services, skilled workers, and stable institutions do not appear for free. They are supported by a society where costs are high and expectations are strict. For someone earning a strong Swiss salary, the system can work very well. For someone with a lower income, or someone arriving from outside, the same system can feel heavy. The country is rich, but that does not mean life is easy for everyone. This is where the documentary must be honest. Switzerland is not simply a paradise. It is a high-performance country. And high performance comes with pressure. The pressure to earn well. The pressure to follow rules. The pressure to adapt. The pressure to live inside a system that functions beautifully, but rarely feels cheap. The postcard is real, but so is the cost behind it. Switzerland's order is one of the reasons people admire it. But order is not only a visual experience. It is also a social rule. In Switzerland, systems matter. Procedures matter. Schedules matter. Contracts matter. Local rules matter. People are expected to respect shared spaces, follow community standards, and understand how things are done. For many residents, this creates a strong sense of safety. Life feels predictable. Streets are calm. Public transport is reliable. Services work. Bureaucracy can be complex, but it usually follows a clear logic. There is a feeling that the country is not improvising every day. But for others, especially newcomers, this can feel rigid. The same order that protects people can also feel demanding. The same rules that keep life clean and organized can feel restrictive. The same system that creates trust can make mistakes feel costly. This is an important part of the Swiss story. The country's success is not only economic, it is cultural. Switzerland built a society where discipline and responsibility are deeply connected to daily life. People do not only enjoy the system, they are expected to help preserve it. That is one reason the country works, but it also explains why Switzerland can feel difficult for those who expect flexibility, informality, or quick adaptation. The Swiss model is not built around chaos. It is built around control, and control produces results. Clean cities, reliable transportation, strong institutions, global reputation, economic trust. But control also creates a sense that life inside the system has rules everywhere, so the truth becomes more complete. Switzerland is admired because it works, but it works because people accept a level of structure that not everyone would find easy. This is not a contradiction. It is the cost of the model. At this point, the story becomes clearer. Switzerland did not become rich because of one simple reason. It was not only the banks. It was not only the watches. It was not only the mountains. It was not only neutrality. It was the combination of all these things inside one powerful national system. Switzerland built a reputation that few countries can copy. It became known for political stability, strong institutions, skilled workers, advanced industries, high-quality products, financial services, international diplomacy, safety, and precision. Each part helped the other. The banks needed trust. The watches needed precision. The pharmaceutical industry needed research and credibility. Tourism needed beauty and safety. International organizations needed neutrality. Companies needed legal stability. And together, these elements created a country that sells more than products. Switzerland sells confidence. When the world thinks of Switzerland, it does not think first of cheap labor or mass production. It thinks of something reliable, something protected, something well-made, something that will not collapse easily. This is the real Swiss product: trust. And trust is one of the most valuable things in the modern world. Because when people are uncertain, they pay for safety. When companies face risk, they pay for stability. When money is afraid, it looks for protection. When travelers want beauty without chaos, they choose places that feel secure. Switzerland became rich because it understood this before many others. It turned stability into an export. It turned quality into identity. It turned neutrality into influence. And it turned trust into national wealth. But the final truth still needs to include the price. The truth about Switzerland is clear. Switzerland is one of the richest and most admired countries in the world because it transformed trust into economic power. It did not need a huge territory. It did not need a massive population. It did not need to be loud. It built wealth through stability, neutrality, skilled labor, strong institutions, advanced industries, high-value products, financial services, and a global reputation for quality. That is the answer behind the Swiss miracle. The country became rich because the world learned to associate Switzerland with safety, precision, and reliability. But this success has a price. Inside Switzerland, the same system that creates order also creates pressure. Life can be expensive. Housing can be difficult. Rules can feel strict. And the level of organization that makes the country admired also demands discipline from the people who live there. So Switzerland is not a simple paradise. It is a carefully built system, a system that rewards trust, a system that protects stability, a system that turns quality into money, a system that shows how a small country can become globally powerful without acting like an empire. And that is what makes Switzerland so fascinating. Its real luxury is not only the watch on a wrist, it is not only the money inside a bank, it is not only the view of the Alps from a perfect train window. Its real luxury is the feeling that things will work. In the end, Switzerland proves one powerful lesson. A country does not need to be the biggest to become one of the richest. It needs to know what the world values most. And Switzerland discovered that, in a world full of uncertainty, people will always pay for trust. That is the hidden reason why Switzerland became one of the richest, most organized, and most desired countries on Earth.